All right, what's good, everybody? So my name is Brandon Mitch, and I'm actually making some videos regarding tips on Instagram. So I've recently been getting a lot of DMs regarding questions regarding self-confidence when it comes to shooting and filming. I understand. I feel like this is a lot of the times, this is like the biggest thing that holds a lot of people back in figuring out social media, YouTube channels, or just anything, as far as working in the digital space. Is, it's usually the lack of self-confidence within yourself. The only way you can honestly get confidence at, taking pictures or filming yourself is just by practice. And there's no other way around it. There's no magic thing that I can tell you, or, that's gonna help you, and that's gonna help give you the confidence to be like, okay, yeah, like I'm good enough now, I can do this. That's something that has to come from within you. That's something you have to believe within yourself. And like I said, the only way anybody gets better at doing anything is practice. You have to practice. And don't get caught up when it comes to, when you're doing your videos, shooting your pictures, and you have these accounts that you idolize, that have these huge followings. And you have to understand that, a lot of these people work with teams when they have, these phenomenal shots. Because some of these shots you can't just get by just setting up a tripod, which, don't get me wrong, some you can, but you're gonna be there a lot longer. So, the amount of content that they're able to produce, they have a team that's shooting some of these pictures. So don't think just because, they have these huge follower accounts that, all of your pictures have to look like theirs. Your pictures have to be edited like theirs. They have to be shot like theirs. That's not necessarily true, because you have your own community, you have your own following, and that's something you need to cater towards. Don't get caught up in the idea of trying to cater to somebody else's community that's not your own. You're trying to recreate some content that somebody else produced for their community, and you're trying to reproduce the same content that they produce and bring it to your community. It's not necessarily going to work. Work with what you have. I don't necessarily have the best everything. I didn't start with the best everything. I invested in my camera and my lens, which is something people compliment me on all the time, is the quality of my work. But I invested in my lens. But do I have a team to where I can shoot all the time? No. Do I have a cameraman? No. A lot of times I'm having to shoot my stuff by myself. And it's just something that I know I have to do, but I know I'm not going to be here forever, and that's something else you need to understand too. If this is a spot you're in right now, as far as like, maybe not liking the type of content that you produce right now, you need to understand that you're not always going to be here. So you need to take the opportunity to learn while you're here in this spot. Then from there, you can move on to greater and bigger, content projects. But if this is where you're at with what you have, work with what you have, because I guarantee there's a whole bunch of other people out there that can relate and can connect with you being on this level. And some people just want to see other people doing stuff. Some people just want to see other people doing stuff like them, but that's on the same level. So that way it gives you somebody that way you give them somebody to relate to. I just recently landed this campaign that I thought was pretty dope for the skincare line, and I don't have a big team. I shoot a lot of my videos in this kitchen. You can see the paper is taped up on the wall. That's where I shoot my mask night. I don't have this huge big production studio. I don't have this huge team editing my videos. I'm doing all of this. But if you go back and look at my first skincare videos or the first mask night, it doesn't look like the mask nights that I have now. Same thing with the content I was producing, or type of content. A lot of this stuff I got rid of, but you realize certain stuff, you outgrow it. But if that's all you have right now, let that stuff serve you while it can, and just continue to grow. Then once you continue to grow, you can cut off and chop off that weight, but work with what you got. So like I said, don't get caught up on these other accounts that you see trying to recreate, content and stuff they made with, their huge, production teams or teams that they have shooting them. Work with what you got. And if it's a thing of confidence, not feeling confident behind the camera, just get behind the camera multiple times. And don't get caught up on everything being perfect, because a lot of the times people connect with videos or they connect with content when it's not perfect, because that way they understand. It's like, yo, this person is just like me, and it's like, yo, they made this mistake in a video, and not that many people realize it, so it's not that big of a deal. And I'm pretty sure you've seen content, I've made content making mistakes, and a lot of times, you know, you hear it or you see it, but you don't say anything. A lot of times you hear it and you see it, but you don't say anything because you forget it. You know, I'm saying or doing so much other stuff in the video, it's just like, that was like 1 millisecond. So understand that too when you're making a content. Everything doesn't have to be super duper perfect. People can relate with mistakes. People can relate with errors. Now, if it's for a job, that's something different. You know, you're getting paid for this content you making. Don't be putting out no raggedy stuff and being like, yo, Brandon, you told me to put that out, it was cool. No. This is just in the process of building your page up, or just putting content out for you in general. You know, work with what you got and stop looking. I don't want to tell you to stop looking ahead, but if this is what you got, figure out how to make the best with what you got. Make it the most fire, dopest content you can make it with what you got, so that way when people see your content, then you show them, yo, I only had this, and this, and that. They can be like, you was able to make that with this, and it's like, yeah. So imagine what you'll be like with a team. It's just practice, man. Practice makes perfect. All you have to do is just practice this stuff. It's just repetition. Just like riding a bike. When you first got on the bike, you know, you was a little scared, a little, you know, shaky on the handlebars. Then the more and more you rode the bike, you know, you got a lot more comfortable. You was like, yo, I can pop wheelies on this joint. Then you get to a point where you're riding a bike with no hands. But if you go back to that first time you hopped on that bike, like I said, your hands was on the handlebars. So it's just practice. You have to work through these rough spots. And even if the content is not, like I said, the content, you have mistakes in that content, I would still say put it out. Put it out for people to see, because like I said, if there's not a whole bunch of crazy mistakes, people are gonna see the errors and people are gonna forget about the errors, and they're not even gonna remember the error if you ask them about the video. They're gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. So just practice, practice, practice. That's all this is. That's all this is. That's all Instagram is. You just have to practice. So I'll be dropping a lot more tips, insight as to, you know, Instagram stuff I found that's working for me. Because like right now, I'm actually documenting my journey as far as, you know, me moving in my, you know, my influencer / content creating stage. Yeah, I started from the bottom with like nothing. Then my page has made a complete turnaround. And I'm just trying to share with you guys, you know, what I've done to get to this point while I'm still growing. Because like I said, I have 30-something thousand followers right now. And I don't necessarily have a goal as far as like a number I want to hit, but I just want to touch as many people as I can. I want to be the guy known for helping people. You know, that's what you should, that's where I feel like, you know, if you come from that place of wanting to help and inspire and just, you know, give somebody some information, maybe something they probably wouldn't get from somebody that looked like them. That can be something you do. It doesn't have to be something big, you know. It doesn't have to be, you know. It doesn't have to be something huge like, you know, changing the world or, you know, ending, you know, world hunger. You know, everything has its stages and levels, you know. So just work from where you can at the moment. Like I said before with the videos, and then everything else will figure itself out. So if you guys like videos like this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to this page, so that way you don't miss none of the newest videos I put out. But until the next video, I'll see you guys in. But like I said before I leave again, I want to leave you guys with this. It's practice. Just keep practicing. So until the next video, I will see you there.